Hi, so thank you for tuning in to Grow by Joe. In this episode, I am here with Jenn Lin from Delivering Happiness, and thought this would be a really cool thing to do right now. Actually, Jenn and I were supposed to meet in person and do a really awesome, amazing interview together, and obviously that didn't happen with all that's going on with this coronavirus. But we said, hey, let's make the best use of our time. So we're doing this via Zoom. And building culture might be, the last thing that you're thinking about right now, but it's really important. I have some really great things that I want to share with you. And without my company, National Business Capital and Services, if we didn't focus on culture, things would be a lot different right now with all the changes that is happening in all of our businesses. So thank you for joining me virtually today, Jenn.
Thank you so much, Joe. So glad to be here, even though we couldn't be there together. But
yeah, seriously, we'll definitely have to, once we're actually able to be within less than 6 feet of each other, we'll have to definitely do this in person again.
Sure.
So if you don't know Jenn, she's the CEO and co-founder of Delivering Happiness. And my name is Joe Camberato. I'm the president and co-founder of National Business Capital and Services. And, National, just a quick background, we started back in 2007. We've secured over $1 billion in funding for business owners all across the country, thousands of clients. We have over 75 lenders on our exclusive marketplace. We also offer a variety of cost-saving services. And on top of that, we were the #1 top workplace on Long Island last year. That's a big part of that I owe to you, Jenn, so thank you.
That's awesome. Congratulations again.
Thank you. And in just a quick background on Delivering Happiness, Delivering Happiness has evolved from New York Times best-selling book and the first culture coach consulting company. Since 2010, they've shared expertise as pioneers for culture change, using scientific happiness to create profitable, adaptable cultures in over 350 organizations around the world and the globe. And work for companies including Starbucks, Sallie Mae, and many, many others, and also including our company as well too. So just going to stop sharing and we'll go back to me and you. And, so I thought, we were talking earlier and it was good to get caught up. Jenn and I were just kind of getting caught up, and I heard Jenn speak at a conference. It was a Chase sponsored conference that was locally here in Long Island.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell you this is, I was a part of this group, business like advisory council, and we were out in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, they did a cool activity for us. We got to go visit Zappos headquarters, and we did the whole tour. And that's when we talked about the book. I think we got a copy of the book then. And we did the whole tour around the facility. And I'm like, we always had a cool culture and it was fun in our office and we had a fun environment, but that made me go wow, this culture thing is real, and people have stuff hanging from their cubicles, and it just, there was sleeping cots in the corner and all this wild stuff. And I don't know if I can get over the cot thing has always been a sleeping quarters has always been a little, weird for me, but you could really feel something that was different. And I never experienced anything like that before. And it was really amazing. And when I came back, I told James, my business partner and CEO of our company, wow, this culture thing is really amazing. And it was, I just really can't explain it, but we got this book, you got to read this. I started reading it on the plane, and we just thought it was truly awesome. Wow. And then literally, I think a week or two later, you were speaking right here locally. And I'm like, dude, we have to go to this. So we wind up going to it. You spoke, delivered it. And I think the way you broke it down and explained it, James understood what I was trying to explain. But usually I go out to these things and I come back and I've got all these ideas, and, my team loves and hates me, for them. So you kind of helped break that down and explain it. He read the book, and then we decided without really any pushback, or, we're going to do this, and we're going to have you guys come into our organization for 2 full days. And shut the company down. It was with our management team day 1. And then we shut the company down for most of the day the second day. And that was a really big, bold move for us. That was 5 years ago at the time. Like we were still in like growth mode and figuring out processes and people and everything. But we knew culture had to be a part of our organization. And again, you might not be thinking about that right now with what's happening in this virus, but I'm going to explain why it's so important. And we had an amazing 2 days with your team. Your team were awesome, by the way. And we're still in touch with them today.
Yeah, awesome.
And
We'll have to do the happy hour too.
Definitely. We definitely have to do a virtual happy hour with the team. And, you know, we had an amazing experience. And from that moment on, it just brought our culture to this amazing place. And we have a culture leader. We've got a culture team. And people ask me all the time, and I was telling you this before, they reach out and they're like, Joe, you have this amazing culture. We've heard about it. And you won top workplace. And what do I need to do? I need to have a better culture in my business. And it's very hard to explain what culture is to someone. So I've tried to break it down to be simple. And the people always ask me, like, well, what's the ROI? Have you quantified the ROI? And my first answer to that is always the same. If you're doing it for ROI, then you're missing the whole point. Mm-hmm. The ROI will absolutely come with an amazing, happy, rock star workforce because of the culture, but it's not why you do it. And that's not why we did that initially. We knew that if we were going to build something, why the hell would we spend all our time building a business? We spend more times in our business than we do at our families. So if we're going to build something, we don't create this amazing place and give back to the community, give back to our employees and have fun while we're doing it. To me, I didn't want to show up to an office every day and work in an environment that was anything other than that. So it was very easy for James and I, and that's how I explain it to people. And it's really just about what I say. It's just really about mutual respect, caring. We don't have this like top-down leadership. There is a chain of command, but everyone, like I know everyone in our organization at every single level and what they do, what their hobbies are, and just being present to everybody in the organization, mutually respectful and just, you know, going out of your way and going above and beyond for people. And from doing that, we've created this amazing place. One top workplace last year, that was amazing. And it's a bittersweet thing because with this whole coronavirus thing, we've had to make some major cuts and some temporary layoffs. And that was, you know, delivering that message is one of the worst things that I've had to deliver in a long time. I lost sleep and was sick to my stomach having to deliver that message to my team. And on top of that, you know, some companies going through this are using it as an opportunity to maybe make some cuts that they wanted to make but didn't. We have all great people on our team. So, and because of this culture that we built, so making any cut is not, there's no easy decisions there. So we've had to make those. That's been really challenging, but having to all of a sudden, I mean, we've been working now, this is going to be our 4th week working remote. And on a Monday, we decided, over the weekend, James and I said, hey, we're going to have to, I think we're going to have to work remote. This thing's getting really serious. It progressed very quickly. I mean, the way that we're thinking now from 3 weeks ago, and the way we're thinking, it's like this new world.
Really.
You know, we were all like, you know, not really taking it serious, and then it changed really quickly. So we decided on a Monday, everyone went home at like 9:30, and we were up and running by like 11:30, and the team's been rocking. And through that process, we've had to make some cuts, and we're running with the core team right now with the plans to bring everybody back. But I can't tell you, I mean, there were some people that we've had to lay off, and I was telling you this, Jen, like someone sent to my house donuts and coffee and said, I know that you're doing everything you can right now to make it happen and to get us back and rocking and rolling. So I figured that you would need some coffee and some donuts because I know you're going to be working late. And one, to be honest, it made me a little emotional. It was probably one of the nicest things, and that employee is a rock star, and she's even like volunteered our time through this. Wow. Which is like, you know, unbelievable. So my point is, if we didn't focus on culture when the times were good, and there was, with every business, there's these ups and downs, and you grow an organization. If you don't put culture first and build this culture, you want to have an organization with sometimes not good people. So we've had to, over the years, we realized that we had to make some major cuts, and some of that was after you left, realizing that there was not some good people in the org, and it took a while. You don't just create culture overnight. It takes years to build an amazing culture. So we finally got to that, and if we didn't have this amazing culture in place, I don't know how we would be. The team is rocking right now, and our mission and vision of the company is innovating the way entrepreneurs grow. And right now all of our main lenders, our small business lenders, have paused lending. We're still getting some of our customers across the finish line. But this paycheck protection program became available, and our SBA lenders on our platform said, hey, we're going to allow you guys to offer these to your customers. Because of who we are, our reputation, and our process and everything else. So we've pivoted, because everyone understands that we have to get this money to small business owners because they're going to need it. And we're doing this right now. We're operating at a loss. We're going to offer this program. It's not by all means a moneymaker, and that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it to help our customers, and our team gets that. And they've been working around the clock. We've had to pivot. The SBA's changed the application more than once. We've had to re-upload to our system, reprogram the landing page. They are rocking and doing all this stuff to help and make it happen. And if we didn't have this amazing culture, I have no idea how we'd be doing this right now in this crazy time where business has halted for all of us. And we're doing it remotely. So, I really just want to thank you, Jen, because of you and what you and Tony decided to create, and then the book, and then the company and everything. I don't know if we would have this amazing culture, if it wasn't for you guys and your team and everything that you guys have done. And you came in for those 2 days, but there's been so much more of the communication afterwards, and your team's just been, always there, supportive, giving us different things and ideas to do. And if it wasn't for that, I really don't know where we would be right now. So thank you very much.
Wow, Joe, thank you. I mean, that's amazing. It really is. I mean, just to hear your story again, I never get sick of hearing your story, because in so many ways, I mean, it's because you're thanking us, but really the reason why you had all this success through culture, especially at a time when it's, sorry.
It's all good.
All live. Another one of
We're
those.
promote as new things now, as long as my mom doesn't, pop up in the webinar.
Great. And you're thanking us, but the real person that should be thanking is and the reason why I say this is because the number one success or fail factor in what we've seen with companies all over the world is whether or not they have committed leaders. And it's because of your commitment, and James's commitment is the reason why you're seeing all this, reaping all the benefits of it. So really what I'm saying is the kudos go back to you guys, because if you didn't believe in it and you didn't see it, and you're also in a special case, you're already special because you're kind of a beacon of culture and you're doing it amazingly well. You're also very special because you don't need to see the ROI, because it's just the right thing to do, and money will follow. A lot of people want to understand culture, but they do want to see that ROI, which is okay. Everyone, different stress, different folks, but I do think that's really special, that you have that sort of mentality, because what is highlighting now is exactly what.
Sure, I understand.
I don't sure either.
I do.
But he does, yeah. To say. So what's highlighting right now, especially in this, COVID time, is how you're reaping the rewards of what your investment has been, not just from a monetary standpoint, but from your own sense of empathy and compassion and like real sincere, authentic desire to know your, team as if they're like family and friends. And it's coming back to you now in a way. And I think that it's especially poignant because of the time we have right now is like totally unprecedented.
Yeah.
And so what we see is like the true human nature of people come out,
Oh yeah.
um, for better or for worse. And you know this, like basically, we want to see the true core of a person is when they're in the worst situation ever, and then how they react to that. And so the fact that you can say what you're saying about your team, about people that unfortunately had to get laid off, and is just really a testament to how you guys are, how you guys are committed to this idea of what culture can mean for an organization. So really the congratulations and gratitude should be going to you, and more folks like you should be like thinking that way, because they realize all the benefits.
I appreciate it. And, we're going through this challenge in time, and going through this right now, it's very hard to think about. I do believe that this is, even though it's extremely challenging and there's all these unknowns and uncertainty, there's fear, you're scared, there's major business challenges for all of us. I mean, you've had to cancel all of your conferences.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is dealing. There's not a business owner that I've spoken to that's not dealing it in another way, some way. And even if you make masks, people are having challenge getting the materials and can't produce. So everyone's dealing with it in one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that right now, listen, it is what it is. This sucks. But I know that it's going to make us that much stronger and more powerful of an organization when we get to the other side of this.
Right.
We've been doing this for 13 years. There's no way that I'm stopping now. I was telling you, like, I put my house on the line, racked up credit card debt, sacrificed my credit, my life savings, every dollar, 401k, you name it, to get this company to where it is. And we've gotten to a great place. And that's not going to stop. And I know we're going to be that much stronger. And I think a lot of people are, as long as you manage your mindset through this, and there is opportunity, you have to focus on it, and you have to be able to pivot, move quickly, and change and adapt,
right.
Which is, one of our values and one of your values. Yours is adapt and thrive, and ours is adapt and change. And we're committed to that. And because we've been able to adapt and change, it's got us to here. And now we have to adapt and change again. And we're doing that.
Yeah.
So I know we're going to be that much stronger. It really stinks now, but I know we're going to get through it. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Something else we were talking about, and it's something, if you're a business owner listening to this, and you got to really think about, our companies on the other side of this are all going to be different in some or the other. Some are going to be very different, and some are going to take a while to get back to where they were, especially, like arenas, sporting events, movie theaters. Like it's going to take a while for certain things. So right now is a time where you can reinvent yourself, your company. What does that look like? Yeah. And as you're going through that process, it doesn't mean that you need to completely reinvent it, but we're all going to be doing some things a little bit differently, in the future as this comes back, because of all that's happened. If you're not thinking about culture as a part of like reinventing yourself, and as you come back and building that back up, or focusing on that and building it, it's like you're missing the point, because if you haven't had a strong culture right now, I know for a fact that it's been that much harder for you to navigate this through. Because if you don't have a team that gets it on board, and culture, like everyone at the company understands our vision, our mission, our purpose, why we show up every day, that we're here to serve small business owners. So our team gets that now, and they understand and are here to help. But if they didn't get that, we wouldn't be able to get through this. And the reality is, in business, we're going to get past this. I believe the world's not going to end. We're going to get back to business. It's just going to be a matter of when right now. Yeah. But unfortunately, there's going to be good times ahead, and there's going to be bad times again. So, if as you rebuild, you should really be thinking about what does that culture look like, and how do you build it.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're thinking that way, because When you think about another way in this situation, you could replace COVID with a lot of other terms. Like you could replace it with recession. You could replace it with all these other unforeseen circumstances, and we would be. Granted, this is a lot different from what other things that happened in the past, but it's essentially the the ups and downs that we know we're all gonna go through life. And then the question is like, how are we gonna get through it? And so like that's why both of our values or principles and understanding is like we're gonna adapt. And something we say at DH is like just adapt what you can change and embrace what you can't, and keep on moving on and doing the pivots, reprioritizing, doing all these things in such a quick time fashion. Um, so much harder if you don't have that team aligned already, and just ready to to go at it. And we were talking before this session, and just the fact that both of our teams sound like they were just ready to go, like even more rejuvenated, which is staggering to think that like how can so much like chaos be happening, whereas people that have a strong sense of culture, a strong sense of purpose and values, they almost like seem like they just rooted and grounded more into who they are and what they believe in, and that for you. And so I think what your point is on point, because as we're going through this transition period, as we're adapting and pivoting, if there's not that sense of what your true purpose and values are, those serves as like basically a North Star, like a compass to be able to create and make those decisions based on your own DNA as a business owner. Because if you forget that, then it's kind of like forgetting the reason why you did it in the first place.
Yeah.
And kind of like forgetting a bit of yourself. And we've had this, like stories throughout the years of, like CEOs like breaking down and crying because going through these sessions, they're like, wow, I just, I was building, 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 growing, 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 and I just realized I forgot what I was doing it for.
Yep.
And I think, this is, if anything, like trying to silver lining this thing is this is like a forcing function. COVID is just a forcing function for us to really revisit, who we really are, what are the lives that we want to lead, what are the relationships that we want to build. And I think in a way, I'm seeing it as kind of, like a reset of humanity, of what we can do as business owners, as leaders in the company, leaders in community, whatever it might be. So I know that we'll get to that point.
I agree. And in any type of bad situation, I always try and pull out the positives. And even though right now this is super challenging for all of us in a gazillion different ways,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of unique positives that are coming out of this. And some of it's just like, I mean, just simply spending time with your, family, or, you can't, like, all the luxuries that have been put on pause, whether it's traveling, going out to dinner, now we're everyone's talking about the walks that they're going on. And, I've done so many walks with my wife and kids, and I really haven't done that in a long time. So
Yeah.
just like the simple things that are coming out of this. And I think also, I think a lot of people are going to come back from this. There's a lot of things, a lot of luxuries that we've had, conveniences that, you kind of just get spoiled with, and you don't really think about too much. And I think as this comes back, I think a lot of us will appreciate it, that much more. I know I will. And,
Yeah.
And I hope everyone else does too. And hopefully it'll kind of make us think a little bit, because I think we've all been spoiled in some way or another. We live in a pretty amazing world at this point. We don't have, I think about my grandmother who lived through like the Great Depression and went through like the Spanish flu and stuff, and her telling me those stories, and polio and things like that. And we really haven't had to think about any of this stuff. So kind of forget about the simple things. So it's definitely forcing me to think about that. I'm trying to pull out those positives.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's really, it's good to be real about it. It's not to say like we have to be happy-go-lucky at this time at all, but it's like perspective. I think it's perspective. Like your grandma,
100%.
like there's so many stories from my friends of their grandparents just saying, "Well, we're good," like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll be fine. We lived through all this other stuff.
Yeah, I know, like all horrific stuff. So this just, Yeah, I think I like to look at it as a reset, but embracing the real aspects of this though, like um, I think that's important for us as companies and leaders of them to uh, process it within ourselves so that we can really help everyone in our teams and our companies um, get to a place of right now psychological safety, knowing that things are changing around us. So I think we have an even greater responsibility as business owners and leaders to instill that within ourselves first and be able to help, like, the employee that got you donuts, that's a sign of someone that's, pretty grounded in herself. So
Yeah.
the more we can help, I think the more our companies, once we, get to the other side, wherever that may be, it will look really different, but we'll have all these trusted senses of relationships and people that much more engaged to want to do something good, whether it's for their work or, the greater community at large. So, but it's
100%. As leaders, I think it's, our jobs are, the good and bad times, and the bad times when we have to step up more and manage our own mindsets,
totally.
and then everyone, in our companies, our teams, our friends, our family, that's, it's our responsibility, especially, in the company. We got to help manage, lead, and keep everybody, on track, because we're all, everyone's dealing with this right now.
Yeah.
And going through these tough times, it's sometimes the last thing that you want to do, but that's the responsibility that I always joke and say that's it's part of my package. So you know I'm here to step up and to make it happen, and to guide myself through this, and everyone else on the team, and
Yeah.
try and reinforce be positive. We've been doing some gratitude things, and like, what are you grateful for? And
Yeah.
even through this, there's still some good things that we all can be grateful for, and we're still able to get food, and we have a
Yeah.
house, and it could be a lot worse. So other countries are dealing with this in other ways. So
Totally. Yeah.
and it kind of leads me to, like, what you guys are doing right now to help this. We're trying to serve our small business customers and help them get this paycheck protection program, and we pivoted our platform and technology overnight to supply this and deliver this to a lot of small business customers. Are not able to get this from their big banks if they don't have a good relationship or an existing credit line. So it's really interesting right now.
Yeah.
So we're helping deliver that. And was talking to you and your team, and you guys are doing some cool stuff, right now, to provide value back to, I think, business owners, leaders, and
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the same train of thought of what you're doing, which is awesome. It's like, basically, how can we help? How can we add value in a time where things are changing so quickly? So for us, we're just putting our coaches, our content, and kind of packaging it up in a way that's more accessible through virtual webinars and coaching sessions. So we have like a coaching platform where executives or leaders of culture, in their companies can join in at any time and ask any questions. And it's been, as you can imagine, the questions are like super intense and heavy sometimes, like
Sure.
going through these things. So that's an open forum that you can join at any time. And then on the other side, we're also doing some webinars on what we're calling Adapt and Thrive in this, basically like work from home situation. How do how do you have a sense of resilience, and how do you keep communication high? How do you adapt and make sure that you're feeling productive and engaged, but also, with that sense of psychological safety and positivity. So yeah, we're just offering these all for free, just because
Oh,
we
wow.
value. Yeah, just want to help. That's what we're all about anyway, pre-COVID. So like even
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, it's easy for you guys, and that's really cool that you guys are offering it and doing it for free. I'm a part of YPO and some other business networks and stuff like that. Tony Robbins Platinum Partner, and so I have these cool little networks where I can have these conversations with other leaders, but not everyone has that. So if you don't have that, It's really good that you know, get connected, and you know, you really should check out Delivering Happiness, get connected, because being able to speak to other leaders and hearing what people are doing, decisions they're making, you know,
Yeah.
talk and that type of environment, that's helped make me, you know, a better leader and be more successful and make better decisions.
Right.
Being able to bounce those ideas off of others. And I think it's really cool that you're doing, you know, for employees and like culture leaders and, you know, people really that are leaders and managers of teams.
Yeah.
What I've realized is, and my team being able to talk with your team, and also having my team and my leaders of my organization get involved in other type of little networks or groups or different things like that. There's so many amazing things that they brought back to the business. And I always have said, like, I always get out, you know, get out and get involved in these different things all over the place, and sometimes probably too much. But I always said, like, wow, my team needs to do this too, because from getting out, I brought so many good things back into the business. And
Yeah.
if I didn't get out and go to Zappos that day and do that tour, if I didn't get out and go see your speech, I would never brought you guys into my company. That's been like the best things that have happened in my business, or things that I've gotten from outside the business.
Right.
That makes sense, you know. So
yeah, totally. I think it's probably your innate instinct to want to learn, to
yeah.
grow and develop, which is a part of you know, positive psychology. Is you just want to keep on progressing, you want to keep on developing yourself. And so I think that's why it's important for us to, like, you know, you have your leader with a lot of foresight and curiosity, which is awesome. You know, these characteristics that we all know what great leaders are about them. Um, so you bringing back that to your team is, you know, amazing. And then also I think there's this connection of what we can share for team members, you know, like whether you're a manager or just, you know, you're a natural culture leader, they're seeing it from a different perspective as well. So that's why what we've seen to be most effective and impactful is like to be able to speak at you know, whatever whether you're a leader or whether you're C-level or whether you're, you know, a leader within your team. There's ways that, again, to control what you can and embrace what you can't, that becomes a really powerful thing. And I'm sure you see that, you know, at where you're at every day. So that's
100%. It's been super helpful, and without doing all these different things, you just take little pieces from all over the place, and you kind of make your own decisions, and
right,
into
right.
your organization and to your personal life too. So it's
Yeah,
really been everything to make me, you know, who I am, and who my company, you know, what my company is.
yeah, it's awesome. Joe,
Awesome.
keep on keeping on. You're inspiring. We have our core value number 5 is inspire and be inspired. And every time we hear from you guys, our team gets all inspired. We're like, oh, we talked to
Oh,
the
that's awesome to hear. That's great.
They love it. They love
That's
it.
great. Well, me and your team definitely have to do a virtual happy hour,
Yes.
for sure. Now that we put that out there, we're going to do it.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and yeah, we love you guys and your team and everything that you guys are about. And you know, you've inspired us as well too. So it's definitely mutual. So